My father had done it again. How dare he? It was bad enough when my father's housekeeper, Mrs. Johnson, had whispered to me before the church service that they'd be thrilled to attend my wedding. She was so happy for me, she told me, and when was the big day? It was worse, much worse, when Lady Gordon and her social climbing acolyte Miss Winterbottom cornered me in the churchyard after service and asked when they would receive their invitations. My father had kindly informed them they would be invited to the nuptials, but he wasn't clear on the date. They told me with much humphing, and I'm sure you understand, dear Olivia, that they did have rather busy social calendars. My smile weakened as I said no date had yet been set. Their eyebrows went skyward. I stammered something about Adam's schedule being at the mercy of the army, and excused myself. I crossed the churchyard to walk to my father's house. As soon as I was out of sight of the church, my stroll turned into a stride. He was supposed to meet me at the church. Where was he? Heels clicking a staccato beat, I trotted down the pavement toward my father's house, past large red brick homes built before the Great War, around the curve in the road, then past the huge oak I'd hit learning to ride a bicycle, and finally the massive evergreen he and my mother had planted as a twig. With the house now in sight, my list of grievances was ready. Stomping my pumps as I stormed up the short walk from the street to my father's house, I beat on the front door with my knuckles. The more I thought about his impertinence in inviting people to my wedding without asking, the angrier I became. I stabbed my finger on the bell. Too impatient to wait for him to answer, I fished my key from my bag and unlocked the door. "I know you're in here," I shouted as I marched down the front hallway, shoving at the door behind me. It didn't completely close, and I didn't care. "What do you think?" And what was that smell? It was familiar. My voice trailed off as I stared into the front drawing room. My father knelt beside a man, lying in the middle of the room on the large oriental carpet. My father's ornate Serbian dagger stuck out of the man's chest. Father gave me a single glance as he let go of the man's shoulder, and said in his stuffiest tone, "Olivia, this isn't what it appears." My anger fizzled away into shock and dismay. "Father, we must call for a doctor. Or the police." "Ugh, he's dead. Has been for over 2 years. "What?" If I thought my father had lost his mind before I entered the house, I was certain of it now. "Don't you recognize him?" Father sounded surprised that I didn't. The face, now slack with death, looked vaguely familiar. I shook my head, my eyes never leaving the dagger, and the blood on my father's hands. "It's John Kenseth." Mr. Kenseth? I remembered him from my childhood. He'd vanished, presumed dead, in a sailing accident off the Isle of Wight in the summer of 1936. My father had been struck hard by his old friend's passing. What's his body doing here now? And why does he look so... I swallowed. So fresh. "I don't know, and I have to find out. I owe it to Louise. Damn fool shouldn't have left her that way." Faced with the second death of his old friend, my father sounded annoyed. "No, Mrs. Kenseth would have to wait. What you need to do is call the police." He acted as if he hadn't heard me. "If we wait until after dark, we can..." "We're not going to hide a body, Father." I could only imagine what he would say if I suggested such a scheme. "Take him out of the back door to the car and drive to..." "I'm calling the police." He couldn't have killed his friend, his long-dead colleague. Could he?
"Don't you see? He was Foreign Office like me. If he staged his disappearance, he must have been working on something so hush-hush he had to vanish. The fate of our nation could be at stake."